If you're looking for some easier ways to eat healthy after your accident, I've got you covered. I'm going to share with you 3 tips on ways to make eating a little healthier, a little more accessible. And this is not judgment. For a while after my accident, I was eating a lot of takeout, a lot of craft dinner, or just toast or bagels at home, because cooking is hard. It is overwhelming and it takes a lot of steps. You know, even if you say, I'm just going to make a chicken, you have to go to the store to get the chicken. Once you get home, you need to clean the chicken. You need to prep the chicken, prep your oven. If you are like me, you've got things inside of your oven that need to come out in order for you to make the food. And then, goodness gracious, if you fall asleep while you're making food and you overdo the chicken, it can turn out pretty gross. I started using these chickens from the grocery store. So this is my tip number 1. Get the pre-made chickens. It is okay. It is okay to get pre-made food. And rather than getting frozen dinners, it's nice to grab these chickens. I got mine at Costco, but Walmart has them. Most grocery stores have these prepared chickens. And are they more expensive than an unprepared chicken? Sometimes yes, sometimes they're very comparable. But you have to factor in how much cognitive drain is it going to cause to have to come home and bake a chicken. On a good day, I like to take the meat off of the bones as soon as I get home, while the bird is still kind of warm. So it's cool enough to touch, but it's still warm. And I find that the meat comes off a little bit more easily than if it's cold. That being said, if you go to the grocery store and you get home and your brain is fried and you think, oh, I really should get the meat off of the chicken and get that into the fridge, just put the whole thing into the fridge, man. And then as you get hungry, just rip some of the chicken off. And if you feel badly making yourself a piece of toast and just having chicken straight out of the fridge, maybe having it with a carrot stick, just call it a deconstructed sandwich. It's very fancy. Tip number 2 is to grab some bento boxes. Now, I have 4. I like this size. I like this configuration. I have 4 identical bento boxes like this. I fill this section with fruits and vegetables. I put chicken into one of these sections. I put cheese into another of the small quarter sections. And then in this little cuppy that goes on top, I put an extra. So I'm typically outside of the house about 4 days a week. I have vision therapy and I have vestibular rehab. I see my psychologist, I see my doctor. So I like to have 4 days worth of bento boxes. I like this guy. It makes things easy with the apples. You just put it on top of the apple and it breaks it apart into pieces. I find that an apple and a half plus something else fit neatly into the half side of this particular bento box. So this week I've got apple and I've got little cucumbers, and I'm just gonna cut those up into bite-sized chunks right into the bento box. I'm just gonna cube up some cheese and add it into one of the smaller sections. And you know, there are people who will say, well, cheese has too much fat, or why would you have an apple and a carrot when you could have veggies that are lower in sugar? But Concussions are really difficult. Your brain is freaking out. Your whole body is freaking out. You're stressed. And I went through a while there where I ate a lot of cake. I was eating so much junk food because it helped to soothe me. Was it the best choice? Maybe not, but it was the right choice for me at that time. So having these bento boxes is a little bit easier. It makes things easier, for me at least. Having food that is ready to go and that is cut up so I can just pop it into my mouth is really, really helpful. Now I'm going to cut up some of this chicken and toss it into the last little compartment there. And for me, a whole chicken is a lot of food. I don't need a whole chicken for 4 lunches. And these can be dinners. These can be whatever makes your life easier. Heck, if you wanted to make them and have them for lunch and dinner every day, just so you've got food prepared that doesn't come from one of the fast food chains, why not? Last but not least, we've got these little green things that can sit on top of your chicken or your cheese. And I like to put in these sometimes cashews and sunflower seeds, or you can put in something actual chocolate-y if that is appealing to you. If you want something like a sweet dessert, you could put something in there. This week I have an RX bar. I like them. They taste good and they have a lot of benefits to them. So they're made with 3 egg whites, some almonds, some cashews, and a couple of dates as sweetener. I don't really care for protein shakes and protein bars that have protein powder in them. It's not my jam, but these guys pack a lot of protein, but I find them more palatable. I'm going to cut up 2 of these bars so that I have half in each of my boxes. I have them as a sweet treat at the end of the meal, but I'm also going to have chocolate when I get home. So now I have 4 bento boxes that I can either bring with me if I'm going to be out at doctor's appointments or what have you during the week, or I can have them in my fridge at home and I can eat them while I'm at home. I'm at a stage now where 4 bento boxes is perfect for me, but there's still a ton of protein left over, and I will use these to make quesadillas during the week. I will chop up the chicken a little more finely. I will put it with some shredded chicken into a tortilla, and then you just flip it in half and you put it in a frying pan, a couple minutes till it gets golden, and then you flip it, a couple minutes till it gets golden, and then I have that with a little bit of salsa on the side. I'll have some chicken on top of mac and cheese just to enhance the nutritional value there. I'll make some pasta and just crack open a can of tomato sauce and I'll put it on there and toss some of the chicken in there. So these chickens really helped me when I was able to start thinking about eating a little more healthy and doing some of this prep. Not a ton of prep, but a little bit of prep is involved. And tip number 3, it doesn't need to look the way it used to look. You don't have to have a sandwich. You can have some chicken and a carrot stick out of the fridge and a slice of toast. You don't have to have a quesadilla like that. You can cut the quesadilla wrap into 4 and toast those suckers, and then just have some cheese and chicken on the side. You don't have to put pasta together. Things are different. Your life looks different right now. Everything is a little crazy, a little up in the air. It's hard and it's different. So roll with it if you can and cut yourself some slack. You do not need to make spaghetti bolognese. You do not need to make yourself lunches that look the way they used to. Make it quick and easy for you. I hope you're doing okay, and I hope that this video helps you to take control of your food and your eating and make being a little bit healthier a little bit more accessible. If you've started cooking again, if you have started moving into trying to do a little food prep and you have suggestions, please share them in the comments below so that we can build our community and let people know what works. And if you have questions about making eating a little bit easier with the concussion, pop them into the comments below and we will try to come up with an answer. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this video was helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, maybe share it with a friend. Even if they don't have a concussion, this can make life a little bit easier. Have a wonderful day, and remember, you are not alone in your concussion.